Sup, fellas, this is Devansh Pandey and I welcome you to my channel Chess Now. Well, in my last video, I explored a common attack by the name of the fried liver attack. It was a very common attack which is often used by players with the white pieces. So today I am going to show you another trap which goes by the name of the fishing pole trap, and it is, well, I think it's an extremely neat trap. Let's start off. Pawn to e4, pawn to e5, knight to f3, knight to c6. Here, if you see a move such as bishop to c4, you should simply play knight to f6. Well, one move your opponent can play in this situation is knight to g5, thus preparing for the fried liver attack. There are many ways to diffuse this. I'll cover them in my next video, but for this video, we are going to explore another line. It goes by knight to, pawn to d3. This move basically is an attempt to protect the pawn on e4. What you simply do is bishop to c5, and once your opponent performs the very natural move of castling, you move your knight to g4. Well, this seems as a strange move, and as many chess players are unaware of this specific trap, what they often may try is pawn to h3. This move does two things. It not only challenges the knight on g4, but it also opens up the back rank so that the king can escape in times of emergency. What you have to do here is pawn to h5. You do not have to protect the knight, you just have to simply play pawn to h5. If your opponent does not pay attention, or at the very least doesn't get suspicious and thinks that you have just simply blundered your knight, he may capture your knight on g4. You simply capture with your pawn, and once the knight moves away, there are actually two places the knight can go. One's of course h2 and the other is e1. First we'll explore the h2 line. Once the knight moves away to h2, you pull out your queen to h4. Now, as you may already notice, there's an extremely immediate threat of checkmate on the next move. So of course, if your opponent does not pay attention and plays let's say a4 for the sake of this video, you simply capture the knight on h2 and it is a checkmate. However, if your opponent does pay attention, there is not much he can do. He may try a move such as rook to e1 in order so that his king can escape if you capture the knight. But what you have to do here is simply queen to f2. The king goes to h1 and you have to retreat the queen back to h4. What this does is the king can no longer escape via this square because the bishop is aiming at this square, and no matter what your opponent does at this moment, let's say he captures at g4, next move is a checkmate. Another line we will explore is knight to e1. Well, this isn't very different from the previous line. You just play h4 and now there's no way for white to protect the king. The next move, no matter what white does, the next move is a checkmate. Another thing that you may come across is instead of moving this pawn forward, white may simply castle. The idea behind this move is that even if you capture the pawn, white can simply place his rook on e1, and after putting a lot of pressure on these central squares, he can recapture the pawn. But what you have to do is the same as the previous lines. Just pull your knight to g4, white plays h3, you play h5, captures and captures. However, there is a little difference in this line. If the knight pulls back to e1, then there is nothing white can do to save his king. He may try a move such as let's say pawn to f3 so that his king may escape. He couldn't do it in the last few lines because the bishop was aiming at this square and had pinned down the pawn. but he can't do it in this line. What you simply have to do is move your pawn to g3. This is an extremely devastating move, and no matter what white does from here, next move is checkmate. However, the difference in this particular line is if if white just decides to castle instead of protecting this pawn, if white pulls back to h2, you place your queen at h4, there is a way white can escape checkmate, and that is rook to e1. And once you capture, the white king can simply squiggle out of this, but this is not a very good position for white. The reason is that not only is his king exposed, but your queen is also at very attacking squares, and instead of spending his time in developing his pieces, these three pieces are completely untouched, they're on passive squares. So instead of developing his pieces, his king may have to do the rounds in the center of the board, as he will soon be ousted from these safe squares. So all in all, if your opponent falls for this trap, that is, your opponent captures your knight on g4, and then he's basically gone no matter what he does next. Well, if you enjoyed the video, then please hit the like buttons and also share and subscribe it. However, if you did not like the video, then I am as always open to suggestions in the comment box. Thank you. This is Devansh Pandey signing off.